In this tutorial, we are going to cover the Afghan that this little girl and the little puppy dog is lying on. Isn't it so cute? This is a gem of a pattern that you don't even realize is available on Yarnspirations.com. Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as Yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we're going to work on a pattern together, and this is called Soften the World Baby Blanket. This is a gem of a particular pattern. I'm telling you, this is one of those secret little treasures you find on Yarnspirations.com. And the reason why I say that is that I've been seeing this little girl with the little puppy dog. It's such a cute photo as it is. It should be framed, of course. And you don't really get a good sense of what the Afghan looks like, but you are kind of like enticed because it looks so cute. But what I did is that I ran a sample of this, and I realized that this particular Afghan that they're lying on is an absolute amazing Afghan, and you don't really get a good sense of it when you're seeing it in the particular photo. So today I'm going to take you through the ins and outs of making this particular Afghan, and I'm going to show you what it looks like as a sample, and I think this may knock your socks right off. So here's what the pattern looks like when the kid is not lying on top of it. So this is what it looks like, and this is called the modified front post double crochet. What is the difference between a modified and a regular front post double crochet? I'll show you the difference. This here is a regular front post double crochet. Now I use the same size hook, but look at the difference. Okay, if you can see the difference, these look a lot looser, and look what you can do. You can stick the hook behind here, and in behind here, if you actually just put your fingers through, you can actually just put your fingers right through the work. Okay, so just think of if I was a kid, I can put my fingers right through the work. So modified front post double crochet is a modified version, and it's completely solid on the back here, so that nobody can run their fingers through anything. So and what happens is, because it's modified, these suck back more to the project versus these here, where these are more lifted off and can be really a lot loose. So in today's tutorial we're going to start you off with doing these modified, and it looks like it's hard, but it's not, and once you get on the rhythm you're gonna be laughing. And we're not gonna be trimming any yarn today, so I'm gonna show you how to carry your yarn up to one side, and then when you run the border around it, what's gonna happen is that you're gonna go into the side, and then you're gonna trap all of these running strings up underneath the border, so you'll never see it, and therefore you don't have to worry about changing your yarn every time you're willing to do a stitch. So without further ado, let's get started on this project. If you would like to do the blanket as per what's in the pattern, it's chaining of 105. But let me explain something to you. If you would like to change your sizes, the stitch count multiples are in 4. So I'm just creating a slip knot slowly. So you can change your sizes of any size blanket for this as long as you keep it in sets of 4. But at the very end of your chain you must add 1. So I'm just gonna do a small example today, and I'm going to chain in sets of 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I'm gonna do it again. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I'm gonna do it one more time. 1, 2, 3, and 4. When you're satisfied with the length, if you're not gonna do the 105 as it suggests in the pattern, just add 1 chain at the very end, and that'll keep your pattern in balance. Let's begin row number 1. So no matter if you're working with the pattern or you've done your own size in the multiples of 4 plus 1, then it's all gonna work out. So the second chain from the hook, so 1 and 2, we're going to put in 1 single crochet. So turn it over and get the back string only of the stitch or of the chain, and just single crochet. And in the next 2 chains I want you to place a double crochet into each of those. So the next 2 is gonna be a double. So there's 1, and the next one is 2. Okay, so the repeat patterning going all the way across for this thing, and I'll meet you up at the end of the row, is that the next 2 will be 2 single crochets. Okay, and then so this is the second one of the 2, and then the next 2 are double crochets. So you're just basically gonna go across, and you're gonna put 2 double crochets in a row, and then 2 single crochets in a row, and then just keep alternating until you get to the very end. So I want you to do that, and I'll meet you up at the end of your chain, and then we'll start the next part. Now as per the instructions, when you get to the final 3 chains, this is what you're gonna have to do anyway, but if you're following the pattern it's gonna work out anyway. So I've just finished 2 single crochets, the next 2 are gonna be double crochets, and the final stitch is gonna be 1 single crochet by itself. So the last 3, the first 2 will be a double crochet each, Okay, the last two are the double crochet each, and then the final stitch will be one single crochet. Getting started on this pattern is a little more difficult. I'm gonna ask for your patience, but once you get started on this, it goes really quickly once you get beyond the second row. So let's turn our work and go for row number. So every other row is exactly identical. We just turn our work, chain one, and we do one single crochet into each one of the stitches all the way across. So it doesn't matter what row you're on, whenever you go back, it's always gonna be a single crochet in this direction. I want you to visualize this pattern like a typewriter. Okay, one of those old-fashioned typewriters where you have to type across and then move and then push it back to reset itself. So every time you go in the back motion like you're doing right now, you're going to go single crochet. Doesn't even matter what color you're gonna do, it's always gonna be the same. You're gonna go single crochet right to the very end of your row. Okay, and I got one more stitch to go, and therefore we're gonna introduce the very next color. So in the very final stitch, I don't want you to finish that stitch. I want you to hold these last two loops on here, and I'm gonna grab my next color and show you what to do. So what I want you to do in the very beginning is that I want you to leave a longer tail so you can use that as a darning needle sew in at the end. And what I want you to do, instead of pulling the robin's egg blue through, I want you to pull the soft pink through to finish. And we're gonna change our color. We're gonna not trim our yarn, we're just gonna let the robin's egg fall down, and we're going to use the pink then as the next color. So the next time, so we're gonna go pink across and then pink back, and then we're gonna drop the pink and then bring this color back. Okay, and so we're gonna be dragging up the string on the side. So to start this row, we're gonna chain one first and single crochet into the very first stitch like so. And if you have to pull things a little tighter, then you can do so, and you can do that before you move on. So the next two stitches are gonna be a front post modified double crochet, or modified front post double crochet. So how we do that is that it's like a double crochet front post, but let me show you. This is a front post double crochet. You come in from the side and then across. Okay, so you come down, so you're jumping down 2 rows below and you're getting to where you've done the double crochets before, and you're just gonna go across, wrap the hook and go across the first one. So in and out, pull through 2 and 2. Okay, so that is a regular front post double crochet. So to do the next one, just into the next double crochet, 2 rows down, pull through 2 and 2. So this is what it would look like if you were to do it regular, and what happens is you end up with some layers in gapping in behind where all those fingers can go through. So what I want you to do is that I want you to do the modified version. So the modified version is gonna come down and it's gonna loop around the double crochet, but it's also gonna utilize the stitch that it's in front of as well. So how we do that is that we wrap the hook and we come into the first double crochet, that's 2 rows down, pull through 2 and hold, and normally you would have pulled through 2 and then carry on to the next, but what you wanna do is that you wanna go to the stitch where it's in front of, okay, right behind it, and insert your hook into that stitch, and this is not as hard as it looks on camera. Insert into there, pull through, you now have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3, and that's a modified front post double crochet. So we're gonna do a modified front post double crochet in the next one. So we wrap the hook, coming to the next double crochet, 2 rows down, pull through 2 and hold, and then go into the next stitch that's available on the top. Okay, so pull through, you now have 3 loops, pull through all 3. So like we did before, we did double crochets for 2 and then single crochets for 2. Well, we're gonna carry on that same motion. This time though, they are front post modified double crochets. So the next 2 stitches are just going to be single crochets. Okay, so the next 2 then are modified, and you look for where it's already started. So these are the double crochets here. See how these are smaller? Okay, so this was 2 double crochets. You see that these were 2 single crochets, so these are double crochets. So you wrap the hook and go around the first double crochet, pull through 2 and hold, and then go into the same stitch in the top, pull through all 3. Do the next one. So modified again, pull through, go into the stitch, pull through all 3. So the next two are going to be single crochet. So you're just gonna work your way across your work just like this. So in the very final here we have our finals that we're coming up to. So we're just going to just carry on just completing the pattern as you know it. So they are modified double crochet front posts, and you do those two and you have to end up with one single crochet at the very end, which is your final stitch. So the very final is your single crochet. So now that we've done pink across, we're gonna turn our work and do pink all the way back. Remember what I said, when we go back we chain up one and it's just one single crochet into each one of the stitches going all the way back to the start. That's all this pattern is. So what we have to do is that when we go and start up the next one again, we're gonna bring up our robin's egg, but instead of saying that you're going around a double crochet from 2 rows down, it's gonna say you're going around a modified front post double crochet, and I'll show you exactly what that is, and it's really not as hard as it sounds. So now that I've single crocheted all the way back, I single crochet into the final, pull through, I don't finish it, and I grab my robin's egg and I use that to finish so that I'm ready to start that in my next row. Okay, so this is what it looks like at this moment. So I wanna let this pink just go down out of the way, and this is what it's looking like. So let's start up the next one. Okay, so what we want to do is that when we go to pull this up, we wanna make sure that this is relatively tight here, this blue piece, because once you go to lock it in a position it's always gonna say that same tension. So if it's really loose it's gonna stay like that. So you wanna make sure it's relatively taut but not too tight. Yarn over, pull through one, that's your chain one, and single crochet into the first one. Again, ignore this pink that's hanging out. So we single crocheted in the first one. Now we're gonna do modified front post double crochets around the other modified that's here. So we wrap the hook going behind the modified. Okay, yarn over, pull through 2 and hold, and then go into the stitch that's right above it, pull through all 3. Okay, so we do the next one, pull through 2 and hold into the stitch, pull through all 3. So the next two are 2 single crochets in a row. So 1 and 2, and then we do the modified again. So just wrap in behind. It's easier to do this with solid color yarns versus the variegated, and it just becomes really quite easy to be able to follow along, and the pattern doesn't change in size or lose its counts, and so as long as you keep them basically 2 single crochets in a row and 2 modifieds in a row, you cannot go wrong on this pattern. So the baby's afghan that the child is lying on, like I never expected any of this in a stitch in there. It was very difficult to tell. So in your very final, remember, it is a single crochet. Okay, turn your work, see what the back looks like. The back looks like there's nothing going on in the front, so it's a bit of a surprise. So to go back, chain up one single crochet into that one, and to all of them going all the way back. I'm going to show you how to change color back to pink. So I think this is one of those afghans that would look really sharp in 2 colors only. Therefore you can carry your yarn and do a really nice job of this. So you're just gonna single crochet right back to the start. Remember, you do not finish the final stitch. Drop the robin's egg, grab the pink and pull through, turn it, just tighten things up. Okay, so you just want to check this side, tighten things up, chain one single crochet into the first, and then modified. So just down, now you're going behind the robin's egg, pull through, top of the stitch. So the modified is a little bit of extra work, but I know parents are really concerned about kids putting fingers and toes through any crochet projects, and this is one of those projects where you have a solid backing on it, and therefore you don't have to have that as a concern. So we've been carrying yarn up then, so I'm just gonna finish this row. So we've been finishing so what you're gonna do is you're gonna do your entire afghan, and then you're going to do a border. And the border is just gonna simply just go around the complete afghan. So where we're carrying the yarn on the side, we just use that as in behind. So you treat it like it's part of the stitch and just bury it. Okay, so basically when you go around, you're going to single crochet yourself all the way around, and what's gonna happen is that when you go in, you wanna make sure you're going into it, but you're also going up underneath these carry strings so that you can trap those permanently into position as you go. And it's just a really great way of being able to change your yarns without having any of these loose ends, and then you'll be able to hide the ending effect anyway at the very end of your project. So this is how you do this. This is called Soften the World Baby Blanket. Really quite cool, very quite easy, and you can have one of these in no time. So until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of the Crochet Crowd as well as Yarnspirations.com. Have a great day, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye bye.